You're listening to The Bon Ray Show. It's 8 in the evening. Tune in every night at 8 to listen to The Bon Ray Show on Irish News Radio or ITV.ie. And you can contact anything that you've heard or if anything you'd like to discuss at news@irishnews.net. Listening to The Bon Ray Show on ITV.ie and Irish News Radio. Today we're supposed to be talking about the EU and independence. But as there is no independence, what I will be talking about today is taking us into the next step. And I think I'll rename this day as Taken, because it very much reminds me of anybody who's seen that movie with Liam Neeson when his daughter gets taken. And he doesn't try to explain to her, like he knows at that stage it's too late to escape. He says to her, "You will be taken. There is nothing you can do now. You will be taken." And that is how I feel about Ireland. There's no point about talking about independence, sovereignty, any of those things. It is going to be taken in December. What now we have to do is to start looking what to do once we are taken, and start looking, as I've been saying to everybody, stop using your credit cards, stop paying the government. We just need to take to the streets now and sit outside the Dáil and demand until they're left, until all of them are out. But that's our next stage. But as most of you aren't awake, there's not even ready to talk about that. But what we do need to do is start talking about Taken Day. So that's what this day is going to be renamed as Taken. I was hoping to get a phone call from Jada Francis, an interview with Jada Francis in the UK about her 9 months of hell. But it really was hell, and she's really not quite ready to do an interview yet. So we will look forward to her recovery and when she feels that she will be able to speak out on media, because obviously she's quite nervous. There's so many scumbag leftists who do nothing but take pleasure out of persecuting her for telling the truth, for doing something that's honourable. She has been persecuted and sent to prison. She's got harder terms than actual people who have spoken out for ISIS, and have, like people like Chowdhury, who go on and hurt her about standing up for ISIS and killing the British. Her terms in prison were harder and more stricter. So that sort of thing. Like, hopefully we'll get to talk to her and we'll get to see what her time was. But for now, we'll have to wish her the best until she's ready to come out. But I am going to be talking to, hopefully later on, an interesting character who is going to be talking about how we lost our country, because there's no point talking about, as I said, independence. It's how we lost it and what next to do. And that's the only thing. It will be gone in December. All the screaming, everything, it's gone. We lost it through Lisbon, and it's just becoming very obvious. It's gone now. So it's just how to prepare for the future. There will be a genocide. They are bringing them here to kill us. There is no doubt about that. So it's just to prepare and wait for the others to wake up, because you need to be just sharing the station, ITV.ie, Irish News Radio, to your friends and trying to wake them up. Once they see one penny, the rest will come, and they'll be in shock for a while, whatever one wakes them up. But unfortunately, there's not enough people awake to even know that this country is taken. It's gone. Ireland, at the moment, is only in name only, but eventually that name will even be taken. Majority of people who call themselves Irish have no Irish blood. They've no Irish heritage. Not majority people that will be coming will have no Irish blood, no Irish heritage. Our population will be double, but they are not Irish. They will never be Irish. They will be mostly Islamic and African males. Thank you for listening on The Bon Ray Show. Show on ITV.ie and Irish News Radio. On the day taken, Thursday, the new name, which was the EU and immigration, is now being taken because everything has been taken and stolen by the criminals in government. As I said before, we would have been better off going to Mountjoy and hiring them to run the country, because we would have had more of a fair and just country for the Irish. What these criminals have done is unforgivable. It's, as I've said before, it's like the scene in Taken, where Liam Neeson tells his daughter, "You will be taken." So just get prepared and start thinking of your actions now. And now we just have to start thinking of what we're going to do. It will be signed. The Irish government will sign it. And we're in for a hell lot more. And we're in for huge. At the end, there is no such thing as Ireland or the Irish. There is genocide coming. And there is no way to stop this. But we can work out how to fight back. And that's the only thing, that's our next step, is to work out. They will sign it. Because there's so many people still asleep. We don't have a chance when we still haven't woken up, people. So we go through what other countries. France is beginning to wake up. There's riot constantly, one after another. Crazy riots on the street, like throwing cement, making cement, building in their parliaments, taking to their government. You know, when they didn't vote Le Pen, I was so brokenhearted. I said, I don't care whatever happens to France now. They're such fools to do that. But I now believe that that vote was rigged, that Le Pen's was taken out because they had soiled them on purpose. Because the soil vote in France can't be counted. And I think so many of her votes were destroyed. And hopefully France has they have woken up, and there's riots after riots. They are disgusted, and she is higher in the poll. So hopefully, you know, I don't know whether it's too late for them as well. But that's, you know, at least, you know, they're beginning to fight back, whether they have time or not. Now back to our own country. The reason why we are taken, there was like articles removed from our constitution. They were called 47 and 48. And when you see the mess of our country and the lies, and you wonder why were we taken? How was it taken? Because the criminal bastards that run us has sold everything. Everything. And how and why they were able to do this was because of Articles 47 and 48 from our Constitution. They removed them. They wouldn't have been allowed to destroy or replace the Irish if they had been in, but because they were removed. We need to place about roughly around 70,000 Irish signatures to stop them doing things against our will. Not one party wanted these articles, so we only just needed roughly 70,000 to stop anything like this UN pact that they're going to sign in and destroy, which again was against our constitution, because no government in our constitution could ever give up the right to be an independent sovereign country. No government had the right, and no even people, even if it was put to the people, it was supposed to be null and void. Our clever forefathers had made it watertight, but they have removed articles that protect us from the government, and one of them was the 47, 48. They will not have it restated because they don't want to be accountable or sacked. And this is why our forefathers put these articles in, to protect us against the politicians that were to come. How clever they were to see this day, and how they wrote that that constitution, our constitution now, so it would protect us, and how it's been all destroyed while people are still asleep. Our country has been taken and it's gone. How we need to just stop paying the money. They are going to crash the banks, and that's going to happen soon. Yet they're still singing in media, oh, it's fantastic, they're, we're doing so well, employment's up, this is up. That's so far from the truth. The banks are going to collapse fairly soon. Possibly after Brexit. They're not prepared, they're not organised. They thought they were going to able to break the UK with the EU. Our banks will collapse with that. It's going to be a complete destroy. It is the right thing for the British, and I really admire the British for doing this, and hopefully they'll leave without a deal. We, the Irish, who will be left with this destruction because of the EU and the UN, and we will not have any friends in the EU when the British leave, or any ties to any other country, and that's the only bad thing. But hopefully, if when they go, that the border is put in, but in some way to stop the so-called new Irish coming through, the immigrants that they're going to flood, which will be mainly North African and Muslim males coming through. The British are going to have to stop that, because they have enough of their own Islamic problems in their island. So how they're going to differentiate between us and them, I don't know, but we'll see how they do. But at least they have some people in their government for them. We have not one. All our parties are corrupt. They're criminals. They're more than corrupt. They're criminals. They're thugs and criminals, and they're here to destroy us. And it's a scary, scary thought. And that's what's happening. And there's even movies now to try and, brainwash us to believe, that anybody who's conservative are talking about the rights of their own people are, nationalist thugs, as if nationalist suddenly has become like a criminal word. Everything that was good has now been called criminal, and everything that is bad is now called good. They have turned everything on top, twisted every word on top of us. Italy, great news from Italy, will not sign the UN. Well done, but I didn't think Italy would. So now the ones that have and refuse to sign the UN Migrant Pact will be Australia, Austria, US, Israel, Czech Republic, Croatia, Bulgaria, Hungary, and Poland, and Slovakia. So that's good news. There's more people coming out. Italy, the latest one this week. So there's quite a few, thankfully, coming out. Unfortunately, Ireland, we are gone. Slovakian refuses Islam and won't allow a single mosque. It looks like a good country for us all to be starting to look at. The Poles burn the EU flag, fed up with tens of thousands take to the street and say they will take no sanctions off the EU to take in Muslim migrants. So Slovakian and Poles coming out strong with Hungarians. December, back to our country. December, the open borders and mass migration will become enriched in law. And the MAP, Markle, they call it enriched. How interesting. Markle de Griffey has warned that he will make a criminal offence for citizens and media and outlets to criticise immigrants or Islam. We're really more than taken. I don't know. This is... it might as well become an Islamic Republic of Ireland, and that will be the name of it. It's scary times, people. Really scary. Anybody who's going to try and save Ireland will be criminalised. I I don't know, like, how to work out how we're going to after we're taken, and that's what we have to work out. What is going to happen to us after we're taken? And I don't know, other than secret societies, we're going to have to go underground, because there's so many people asleep, and that's the scary part of all this, that they have no idea what's coming. They're sold this, oh, look at the poor immigrants, of course they can come in, they're so stupid. Yeah, scary, scary days ahead of us. And the economy is going to shut down sometime next spring. I'd say even after Christmas, we're going to start seeing really big things closing down, companies closing down. We're going to start having really, like, even though Leo was singing, oh, it's fantastic, we're far from fantastic. We're in a bad, bad shape. And as I said, I do think the banks will collapse. I think you're better off, all of you, if you haven't done so, get your money out of the banks. Because that's the next thing to go. And start learning how to survive, like simple things, like start learning how to cook from scratch, how to grow your own food. These things will eventually become criminalized, but you better start doing it now. Learn how to survive, make fires. You know, these bills that are going, and you're going to have to learn from the scratch. They're going to try and take everything from you. So learn how to, you know, heat a house. Go back to the old ways, how to cook from scratch, stop buying food, grow your vegetables, know what you're eating, know how to cook from scratch and how to grow food. And go to the sources, go to farms and buy meat, or proper butchers. Don't be buying them in big supermarkets. Go to fishermen and buy fish in places like harbours near you. You can buy it off the fishermen. They usually go fishing, and they usually sell them afterwards around 6 o'clock in the morning. Or go to the markets, but don't go to the big shopping centres. Stop doing that and start getting used to being able to defend for yourself, because we are being taken. So now we just all have to put our heads together and work out what do we do from now. Thank you for listening on the Bonnery Show. Sorry for, you know, it's a sad day. I almost feel like when the abortion came in, that was heart-wrenching. I just couldn't believe they did that. And when Michael D. Higgins went in, I knew he'd get in as well, and I knew the abortion would get in. And I'm telling you now, this will be signed. And this is the last. That's what, it's the nail in our coffin. We were pretty much gone anyway, but that is the nail in our coffin. That is goodbye to Ireland. Goodbye of everything that is Irish. There will be no such thing as an Irish person. There will be no such thing as Ireland, or its culture, or its heritage. And everything will be lost. And it won't even be in history classes. They will get rid of history classes. They'll have this made-up history classes with bullshit united world crap, that we're all one race crap. You won't find out, because if you understand your history, then you have a fight in you. So they will stop that. Again, thank you for listening on the Bonnery Show on ITV.ie and Irish News. Please spread this station for nothing else, for just help people wake up, show them what's coming. Because there isn't long left, and it will be signed. Thank you for listening on the Bonnery Show.
You are listening to Irish News Radio at irishnews.net. Email news@irishnews.net.